How's everybody doing? This is a clandestine, and I'm here to share with you my big board and mock draft for the 2025 NBA draft. So with no further ado, let's get right into it. The number one player on my big board and mock draft is obviously the same. With the first pick in the 2025 NBA draft, the Dallas Mavericks select Cooper Flagg from Duke University. I hear people speculating that he is not that special, that he isn't a generational player, but I completely disagree. Of course, it's the safest pick with his NBA-ready body, offensive versatility, and defensive versatility, but he can do everything, and especially defend at an elite level. He's by far the best prospect, and not many NBA players currently have his tools. Being on a contender as a rookie, doubters will quickly see how ready he is. The number 2 on my big board and mock draft is also the same, as it is for most people. With the second pick in the 2025 NBA draft, the San Antonio Spurs select Dylan Harper from Rutgers University. But I don't think it's insane to picture Ace Bailey at this pick and how he fits into this core of Victor Wembanyama, De'Aaron Fox, and Stephon Castle. I believe there could be many similarities in how De'Aaron Fox plays and how Dylan Harper will play. So in contrast, that additional stretch player with a 7-foot-plus wingspan in Ace Bailey would complement them better, with guards putting pressure on the rim and the frontcourt players stretching the floor. But Dylan Harper is the better player, by far at this current moment. I see a bigger De'Aaron Fox more than a Cade Cunningham because I don't see a lot of the post-methodical play like I see from Cade, but he is the best available and who I think the Spurs should draft. And then there's the controversial number 3 player on my big board. With the third pick in the 2025 NBA draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select Ace Bailey from Rutgers University. Conceptualizing their games, I've had VJ Edgecombe over Ace for the longest. Then I seen the film on Ace. His mid-range game, fluidity, and drive to the rim abilities are great. He has defensive instincts, averaging 1.5 steals and blocks a game. People are concerned about his ability to create his own shot, but his game will be playing off others, which has its benefits in opposed to being ball dominant. Of course, it's better to have the ability to do both like a Kevin Durant, but he could grow into that, and even if he doesn't, he'll be a hell of a player. With the 4th pick in the 2025 NBA draft, the Charlotte Hornets select VJ Edgecombe from Baylor University. The second easiest pick in this draft, in my opinion. Whoever the first 3 teams do not select, you select that guy. And VJ Edgecombe is certainly number 4 on my big board. He is NBA ready, defended at an elite level. He will fit and impact winning on any team. I believe that best available is the player who can fit and impact winning on any team. Of course, there are the stars and leaders, right? Who we believe can lead a team to a championship, win MVP, rack up all NBA teams and all-star selections, all that. But the next best thing is anyone who can fit and impact winning, and that is VJ Edgecombe. He arguably also has star potential. With the 5th pick in the 2025 NBA draft, the Utah Jazz select Trey Johnson from the University of Texas. Here is where my big board and mock draft go their separate ways, for the most part. I don't see any clear direction or core for this team. They have 10 first-round picks in the next 7 years, which is great, and 2 valuable players in Lauri Markkanen and Walker Kessler. A 28-year-old and a center who is valuable, but isn't exactly on all-star trajectory and is aging fast. So age should be a big factor for this pick. They don't need an NBA-ready player or a day-one contributor. The 19-year-old freshman I believe they should be choosing between are Trey Johnson, Kasparas Giacochonis, Khan Knueppel, and Kaman Malawak, who is still 18. Centers are difficult to get a good return for, so though he is the youngest, if the Jazz don't build a good team in the next 5 years, they could be in the same situation with Malawak as they are in with Walker Kessler. Khan Knueppel is the oldest. He will be 20 soon. And though I don't think he could ever be an all-star, he is the most NBA ready and would be a good cultural connector piece to be a leader to the next core of the Utah Jazz. Definitely possible, but I believe they will err on the side of a swing player. Trey Johnson versus Kasparas Giacochonis. They both are perimeter shot creators, but Trey also has more experience playing as an off-ball three-point threat and has a much higher percentage from three. Giacochonis is more physical, can get to the line, while Trey Johnson will struggle with physicality on both sides of the floor at only 190 pounds. Trey Johnson has a 6'10 wingspan and is more athletic, so comparing them as prospects, I believe Trey Johnson is better. I have Trey Johnson number 6 on my big board. With the 6th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the Washington Wizards select Kasparas Giacochonis from the University of Illinois. I have him ranked number 9 on my big board, but I see them choosing between the same freshman as the Utah Jazz, particularly the upside swings. The Wizards have a player I like a lot, small forward Bilal Coulibaly, the number 2 stretch defending big Alex Sarr, and Bub Carrington, a guard who has shown flashes. They also have Jordan Poole and Chris Middleton, so could they possibly get an older, more NBA-ready player, trying to make a competitive play-in push to see what their players are really made of? I don't think they are there yet, so I see them choosing Giacochonis, but who knows? They have a real decision to make. With the 7th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the New Orleans Pelicans select Kon Knueppel from Duke University. 8th on my big board, elite shooter, 6'6", 219 pounds, above average wing passer, can throw lobs. The vision I see has elite defense around him. The Pelicans organization has stated that no one is untouchable, and they have many valuable players including Zion, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, CJ McCollum. They should be able to get valuable assets from most of their core, and Kon would be a decent culture setter for the next core. Other options I believe they are considering: Maluak. But if they believe in Yves Messi, I doubt that they draft another center. With no direction, I could see them also considering the next group of young swing prospects: Yegor Dimon, Derek Queen, Jeremiah Fears. Kon Knueppel is a better shooter and arguably a better defender than all of these prospects. They might have slightly more upside, but Kon's current talent level should be enough to draft him over those prospects at 7. With the 8th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the Brooklyn Nets select Jeremiah Fears from the University of Oklahoma. The Nets have 2 valuable players in Cameron Johnson and Cam Thomas. Then there's Nick Claxton, who they've invested $24 million a year into. Their main valuable assets are the 14th first-round picks they have over the next 7 years. Jeremiah Fears is an 18-year-old point guard, the best ball handler in the draft, puts pressure on the rim, but also scores everywhere inside the arc. Personally, I have Fears at number 15 on my big board. I don't see much upside because he is 6'4", 179 pounds, wingspan isn't special, he isn't a facilitator, and he isn't uber athletic. Best case, he develops an average three-point jump shot, bulks up to the point where he isn't a cone on defense, and can become an elite scorer in the NBA. Even still, I can see him being a liability on the floor when it matters most. But the Nets have time on their side. They can take the biggest swing player available. Other options would be Yegor, another swing guard with flaws, or Derek Queen, another frontcourt player. I am personally higher on Yegor than Fears, but consensus has Fears drafted higher, so this looks like the more likely pick. With the 9th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the Toronto Raptors select Kaman Maluak from Duke University. This is an obvious choice for the Raptors if Kaman Maluak is available at 9. I've had him ranked number 7 on my big board. The Raptors have a competitive core of Emmanuel Quickley, R.J. Barrett, Scotty Barnes, Brandon Ingram, and have a great chance to add the defensive anchoring 18-year-old Kaman Maluak in this draft. If he happens to be drafted already, and there are only swing players like a Jeremiah Fears or a Kaspers Yakachonis, though I doubt he'd be available. I believe they should look into drafting a more NBA-ready prospect, like the soon-to-be 22-year-old Cedric Coward or 23-year-old Nick Clifford. But if Yakachonis is available, that could be a great option here as well. With the 10th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the Houston Rockets select Cedric Coward from Washington State University. I believe the Rockets should look to trade this pick in a package surrounding Alperen Sengun to go and get Giannis. But if they don't, Cedric Coward is the guy they should draft. I have Cedric Coward ranked number 5 on my big board. I can see him easily being the second best player out of this draft. All things pushing him back in this draft include competition level, age, and injury or small sample size. I do not care. Be glad I am not your GM. I would have drafted him number 3. He is still 21. That is a lot of room to grow. He went D3 to D1 and his numbers improved. He was a star in the WCC for 6 games and was transferring to Duke if it wasn't for committing to the NBA draft. Also, the injury wasn't a low body injury, it was a shoulder, and he still shot great at the combine. Okay, I'm done. 6'6", 7'2" wingspan, played in the WCC averaging 17.7 points on 55, 40, 83 splits, 7 rebounds, 3.7 assists, almost a steal and 2 blocks a game at the combine. He beat BJ Edgecombe in basically all agility and verticality drills. He's very similar to another player recently drafted from the WCC, one of my favorite players, Jalen Williams, who was the first guy in his draft class to become an All-NBA player. They are similar in height, wingspan, and stats in the WCC. Cedric Coward will be a great NBA player. With the 11th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the Portland Trail Blazers select Derek Queen from the University of Maryland. I actually have Derek Queen ranked number 11 on my big board, with the top 10 draft prospects being number 1, Cooper Flagg, number 2, Dylan Harper, number 3, Ace Bailey, number 4, BJ Edgecombe, number 5, Cedric Coward, number 6, Trey Johnson, number 7, Kaman Malawak, number 8, Khan Knipple, number 9, Kaspers Yakachonis, and at number 10, Yegor Demin. Yegor Demin would be the best available, but I don't believe the Trailblazers should draft him because Yegor Demin and Deni Avdija would be redundant. I also believe consensus would say Derek Queen is a better prospect. The main reasons I have Yegor Demin over Derek Queen is Yegor's game to complement a faster pace. If Cedric Coward is available, he is the best choice here at 11-2. With the 12th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the Chicago Bulls select Carter Bryant from the University of Arizona, number 12 on my big board. He is a freshman, 19 years old, stands 6'8" with a 7-foot wingspan, 214 pounds, athletic, and can shoot. He came off the bench averaging 17 minutes in college, so there isn't much experience. But he said all the right things at the combine, and I believe in what Carter Bryant can be. As a Bulls fan, I would hate if they drafted Yegor because we already have Josh Giddey. And again, it's redundant. Cedric Coward would be perfect. I dream he falls to us, but I have to ground myself and explore other options. I wouldn't hate us moving back and getting Drake Powell, but I do like us drafting Carter Bryant here a little more. Hopefully we can trade something else to get Drake Powell. 6'6" athletic 3-and-D players who have shown flashes of having guard skills and can play a faster pace are what we need. That is what Cedric Coward is. Perfect. But Drake Powell would suffice. With the 13th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the Atlanta Hawks select Yegor Demin from BYU. I believe Yegor Demin should be drafted with the 13th or 14th pick to the Hawks or Spurs if he isn't drafted 8th to the Nets. Yegor would complement both teams well. A secondary ball handler for Trae Young at 6'9" with a 6'10" wingspan, 200 pounds. And he would be the Spurs' only pass-first guy. He just needs to develop his three-point jump shot and give effort on the defensive end and on the glass. With the 14th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the San Antonio Spurs select Nick Clifford from Colorado State University, De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper. Why not add another player with guard skills? At least this one shoots 37% from three. The Thunder built their championship core from a bunch of versatile guards. In 2021 to 22 season, they were playing SGA, Josh Giddey, Trey Mann, and Aaron Wiggins. And then the next year, they added Isaiah Joe and Jalen Williams. They ended up trading Josh and Mann, but got a good return because versatile tall guards are valuable. Also, so many guards will teach each individual guard how to play off ball. Pressure makes diamonds, and these players will be better for having to play in different roles than they are used to. Nick Clifford is the best available at number 14 on my big board. With the 15th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the Oklahoma City Thunder select Colin Murphy-Boyles from the University of South Carolina. The Spurs could also go Murphy-Boyles if they've lost hope in the Sohan experience, but I believe Nick Clifford would be the better pick. Wemby can't be the only reliable shooter on the team, which ultimately works out for my Thunder because they end up with arguably the best versatile defender in the 2025 NBA Draft. Adding Murphy-Boyles to one of the greatest defensive teams of all time, with all due respect to the Indiana Pacers, repeat incoming. I trust under the Thunder's development, he will be able to become a reliable from deep. Here's number 11 through 20 on my big board. I have at number 11, Derek Queen. Number 12, Carter Bryant. Number 13, Thomas Sorber. Number 14, Nick Clifford. Number 15, Jeremiah Fears. Number 16, Colin Murphy-Boyles. Number 17, Noah Asingay. Number 18, Jace Richardson. Number 19, Drake Powell. And at number 20, Asa Newell. Those are my top 20 NBA draft prospects in the 2025 NBA Draft. At 16, I believe the Magic should think of Jace Richardson to add shooting and scoring, or Thomas Sorber, who can possibly replace Wendell Carter Jr. in the starting center spot. I am obviously high on Thomas Sorber, with him at number 13 on my big board. At 17, I believe the Timberwolves should draft Drake Powell to replace Nickeil Alexander-Walker, or trade this pick in a package to get Kevin Durant. At 19, Noah Asingay would be a steal for the Wizards. Many mocks have him drafted top 10. Jace Richardson would also be another option if he's still available. At 19, Asa Newell might be the better option than Thomas Sorber if the Nets believe in Nick Claxton. Personally, I would draft Thomas Sorber. 7'5" wingspan is insane. And 260 plus pounds, no one is knocking him off his spot. A real defensive anchor. At 20, the Heat might go with a Nolan Traore, Walter Clayton Jr., Liam McNeely, Ben Seraph. They don't need any bigs. I'm not too high on their options. And that is all for today. If you like the content, like and subscribe. And most importantly, comment below. The NBA is a community, and I enjoy having conversations about anything involving the NBA. I have very eccentric opinions compared to most people, so I know you have something to say. Comment below. Let's build a community. Who knows what it can grow into? While you are commenting, I would like to thank Sam Presti. I would like to thank Adam Silver. I would like to thank Safari. I would like to thank those who are still watching this video. I would like to thank NBA.com. I would like to thank Basketball Reference. I would like to thank that other Basketball Reference college players. I would like to thank Cedric Coward. I would like to thank my mom. I would like to thank my brothers. I would like to thank God. I would like to thank Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I would like to thank Josh Giddey. I would like to thank Alex Caruso. I would like to thank Paul George.